Okay, we're coming to the last part of the reading process. That's the review part. It's the after you read. You did your surveying, you connected to your prior knowledge, you highlighted in blue the title, the subtitle, the section headings. Then you got your piece of paper out and you made your questions. Section by section you have questions. That's the way to make sure that you have the questions. Don't do a general thing, because also think about it. This skill is necessary for doing chapters in your major books, in your biology, in your chemistry and things like that. Some of those chapters are 30, 40, 50 pages long. Break them into sections. Make them study small activities to be successful in a short period of time, and then you build all of that together. Okay, now after you read, here's where you need to use your prior knowledge and the information that you learned in the story and connect to make new knowledge and new understanding and new connections. What new things did I learn? What do I remember? What do I know from my discussion with other people? What do I remember from my prior knowledge that I can connect to new stuff? Well, how did my prior knowledge help me understand something new? And now when I understand something new, now I have new prior knowledge because now it's in my head. How can I use this? Okay, now the review part, here's a couple of things that I want you to do. Also on Blackboard, you're going to see post-reading, summaries about the elderly readings. And I give you some questions and I want you to go into the post-reading section for the elderly readings. And I open them up at the end of the week, and I want to make sure that you do the summaries before you do your quiz for the readings, because you're going to have a quiz on all these readings, okay? And I'll talk about the other readings in a minute, okay? So do the summaries first. You got your orange highlights. You got your annotations. Now you're going to say it, and then you're going to look at what you said, review it, say it out loud. Now here's what I want you to do. Take your Ready to Read More book, turn it over so you cannot see the book. So you cannot see the story, you cannot see the highlights. This is what I want you to do. I want you to say to yourself, what's the basic idea of the story? What was the first section? What do I remember from the first section? Say it out loud. Make a little summary to yourself. Summary means, what do I remember? What was it about? Then you say to yourself, the second section. What was it? What was the title of it? What was the section heading for it? What do I remember from it? And also when you remember it, what specific information? Yes, her name was, in the first section, Jean-Louise Calment. She was born, I don't remember when she was born. So that's something that you have to remember and say, oh, I need to review that. And I need to go back. This is the point where you say to yourself, how much do I remember? How much do I kind of remember that I need to look at again? And how much do I not remember that I really need to review? Here's where you're doing the reviewing. Here's where you do the understanding, the comprehension, all the important things. Okay? Now, when you do the out loud thing and then you go to Blackboard and you do your post reading, here's where it's really critical to make sure that you read each other's postings. So if Johnny puts on the discussion posting and he says all of this stuff, and then Mary reads and says, oh, thank you, Johnny, I didn't remember this part, but you forgot this part and I remember this part. So you can start combining knowledge and you're connecting with each other. You're talking with each other. You're having that group discussion. So that's going to be really important to help you understand more, remember more without actually looking at it. Now, when you get done saying it out loud to yourself, you can turn the book over and say, okay, I don't remember the exact date that she was born. So then you can look it up and then you can make sure that you have your questions and you have it okay. Or the exact date or that she died, or the exact number of days or years or whatever that she lived, something like that. Those are things to review. That's also important to put into your summaries on Blackboard. Put them onto your questions. Make sure it's highlighted in here. So that's what you're going to be doing. Okay? So that's what you're going to be doing with page 6 for Ready to Read More. And these are the skills. Now, you've already gone through Effective Reader. You've gone through the whole chapter. I've talked about different ways of doing it. I haven't talked about everything in the chapter, but everything in the chapter is important. What's really important, make sure you do the practices in the chapter in Effective Reader. Also, do the chapter review, do the applications, do the review tests, do the major, or the, I think they're called mastery, they're called mastery tests at the end of the chapter. Those are things that are going to help you review. Do the online practices for Effective Reader, do the lab practice. These are all very, very important for you to practice with so you can start building your skills. Okay, now in the last, I'm going to do one more instructional video and I'm going to talk about the Ready to Read More book, but there's 2 more readings that you need to do. There's a total of 3 readings in this chapter that I want you to work on. So go to the next instructional video and let's talk about those.